The laughter was still echoing around the table when I stood up. Glasses clinked, my sister-in-law wiped tears from her eyes, and my husband, no, the man who used to be my husband, smirked like a schoolboy who'd just gotten away with cheating on a test. The joke hung in the air. Maybe she has a secret. They thought I'd shrink, pretend, swallow it. Instead, I slid the envelope across the table, my smile steady. "Since we're sharing secrets," I said softly, "open this." The room stilled. His hand shook before it even touched the paper. We weren't always like this. I remember the first time I saw him. Windbreaker too big for his frame, grin sharp enough to disarm me. He had this way of leaning in when you spoke, like you were the only one in the room. For years I believed him. Believed us. The house, the marriage, the baby girl who wrapped her tiny fingers around his everything looked whole. From the outside, we were perfect. But perfection has seams, and seams split. The first tear was small, a late night at work, a slip of perfume that wasn't mine, his phone buzzing face down, always face down. I told myself stories. He's tired, he's stressed, he's distracted. Then the messages. I wasn't snooping, I wasn't hunting. The universe dropped them into my lap like it was done watching me play house. A flash of his screen, her name. Words that made my skin crawl. When is she out again? I miss you in my bed. I stared at those words until they blurred, until my daughter cried in the next room and I had to choose, break down now or later. I chose later. That was the night something inside me hardened. I didn't scream, I didn't confront. That would have been too easy for him. My rage, his apologies, a cycle that ends in nothing. Instead, I became quiet, observant, patient. I started saving. Every receipt, every message, every hotel charge he forgot to hide. I traced the patterns of his lies like a map leading to his grave. At night, I lay beside him, breathing slow, pretending sleep while his phone pulsed in the dark. By day, I spoke with lawyers, drew lines through accounts, property, custody. Step by step, I built a world where he no longer existed. My silence was my sharpest weapon. He never noticed the distance because his attention was elsewhere. He thought I was naive. God, he thought I was weak. Then came tonight, the family dinner. His sister, always too loud, too cruel, jabbing where it hurt most. Too bad the baby looks nothing like her daddy. And his laugh. That laugh. The final thread snapped. I stood. I handed him the envelope. He slid his thumb under the flap, eyes darting between me and the paper like he already knew it was a coffin. The first page, hotel receipts. The second, photographs. Him, her, tangled, unmistakable. The third, divorce papers, custody agreements, financial disclosures, every document signed, notarized, airtight. His smirk drained into silence. His face turned the color of ash. The room, once full of chatter, now suffocated under the weight of his unraveling. Chairs creaked, forks froze mid-air. No one dared breathe too loud. "Maybe she has a secret," I repeated, my voice steady, calm, surgical. "Turns out I do." He whispered my name, a plea. But names don't save you when the knife's already in. His mother looked from me to him, realization dawning like a bruise spreading across her face. His father cleared his throat, but no words came. His sister, the one who started it all, swallowed hard, suddenly fascinated by her plate. I let the silence work, let it crush him the way his lies crushed me. Finally, I leaned down, close enough that only he could hear. "You don't get to laugh at me anymore." Then I straightened, gathered my daughter from her high chair, and walked out. Later, when the night was quiet and the house empty of his presence, I sat in my daughter's room watching her sleep, her small chest rising, falling. Innocent, untouched by the rot of her father's choices. For the first time in months, I breathed without weight on my lungs. People will ask why I didn't just leave, why I stayed long enough to plan. They won't understand that revenge isn't about rage, it's about precision. Rage burns fast. Precision cuts deep. I didn't want him just gone. I wanted him exposed, stripped, humiliated in the one place he thought he still had control, his family's table. And now, he has nothing. Funny, isn't it? He thought he was playing me, thought I was blind, thought my silence meant weakness. But silence is just the sound of the knife being sharpened. And when it finally slices, it's already too late to scream.